Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, I am Victor Michael Vincent Jr., and I am your reentry expert. In 2019, it's about you. I want to take y'all on a journey and a story into my life. And the reason why I'm saying it's about you is sometimes you have to make things happen. You got to go out and put out the work. You got to put out the effort to make it happen. Now, I'm going to tell you a little story. I started my reentry program because nobody would hire me to work in the reentry field. It's crazy that you have companies or organizations with reentry programs with nobody who's been incarcerated working with the program. How can you help people when you don't have an insight on what's causing the problems? What are the root of the problems? What are the fixes that need to be made to make people successful after incarceration? I'm going to tell you about an organization. I'm not going to put the organization on blast. I just want to tell you how crazy it can be. When I moved down here to North Carolina, I had about maybe $2,000 left to my name. I was living with my sister and her husband, and I was looking for work. The job that I moved down to North Carolina to acquire was supposed to have been a done deal. And when I went on a tour of the plant, everybody liked me, everybody loved me. It was supposed to be a done deal. I went on the interview on a Monday, and Tuesday I was supposed to start. When I got back to the woman's office after touring the operations in the facilities, she said, well, let me look over your application one more time to make sure everything is okay. Well, she went through my application. She's like, well, wait a minute. You have a felony. I was like, well, as a matter of fact, I have two. And she was like, oh, I don't know if we're going to be able to hire you. I'm like, wait a minute. The owners of the company I left in Baltimore were friends with the company owners in North Carolina, so it was supposed to have been a done deal. Baltimore was supposed to explain everything. And she said, well, look, let me look into it, and I'll give you a call back. Well, let's just say Friday, this was on a Monday, Friday came, and I gave her a call. And she was like, oh, I'm so sorry. You didn't get my letter? I was like, no. She was like, we can't use you because of your criminal background. I was devastated. I was packing my stuff up when my sister came home. She was like, what you doing? I was like, they won't give me the job because of my criminal history. I'm going back to Baltimore to my old job. My sister went into a frenzy like, oh, so you just going to give up like that? You're just going to let one company down here turn you down and you can give up and go back to Baltimore? So I thought about it for a minute, and I had to apply myself to find other employment. I said, no, I'm going to stick it out and I'm going to work it out. Well, I went to a company, an organization that helps people with reentry. And I applied for a driving position as a tractor-trailer driver. Well, it was in Greensboro, and I lived in High Point. Now, when you're talking about having $3,000, $3,000 goes quickly when you have a $500 a month car payment and you have a $400 car insurance every month. So my money was dwindling quickly. And then you're talking about riding around from Greensboro to High Point to Winston to Thomasville trying to find work. So I applied with this company in Greensboro. And every week, once a week, usually on a Monday when I was in Greensboro starting my job search, I would stop by there to see if they reviewed my application. Well, one day, an old lady who worked the counter said, can I talk to you for a minute? Step outside for a minute. And she was like, baby, you don't have anything on your record, or you ain't been in any trouble or anything like that, have you? I said, well, yes, ma'am, I have. And she was like, baby, they're not going to hire you. She said, they don't hire people who have criminal records or backgrounds. I just want to tell you this because you're down here every week digitally seeking employment. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. This place is designed and has a section to help ex-offenders, to help people that's unemployed. They help people with job readiness, job preparation, and they won't hire me. And she was like, no, baby. And that's what I'm talking about. I had to still pull my britches up, tighten up, and I had to realize like, yo, I got to do something to make this happen. So it made my job search even more. I was even hungrier, and I was putting in applications with everybody that I could think of. Eventually, 2 weeks later, I walked into a position. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put the company out here. just in case it's something you might be looking for. They don't pay well, but they will pay you every week. And that's True Green Kimlon. They were the first company in North Carolina to give somebody with a criminal record a start. I started my reentry program because I realized that people were going through exactly what I was going through. Dudes were coming home from prison down here in North Carolina. They couldn't find jobs. They couldn't find employment. And people were pretty much giving them the runaround. So once again, if you're sitting back somewhere and it's not happening and it's not working, reinvent yourself. Look at starting your own business. Look at going to city council meetings. Look at talking to people from government. Look at going down to the MMOB building in Greensboro and putting in your applications and talking to people in that office. So you got to get your face out there. You got to get your name out there. You have to make people realize how hungry you are for an employment. Because if people don't think that you're hungry, people will keep passing you by and picking the other person just because of your criminal past. I'm telling you right now, stop letting people look over you. Sit down, look people in the eye and say, hey man, I need a job. I need employment. But one more thing, be willing to back it up with some hard work when they give it to you. Once again, I am Victor Michael Vincent Jr. I am your reentry expert. And sometimes you have to make your own way. Peace. Stay blessed.